afternoon. Honestly, I had no idea what time it was then at all. Welcome back to Live Shopping here at Highlight Crafts. My name's Mel. I'm going to be your host for this hour. I've got a lovely Laura on cameras, and I've got Lewis in the producer's seat. And David has gone off to try and get everything ready for festival. So here at Highlight Crafts, we have a whole academy where we teach, and we have 4 classrooms, and we're setting up for our last festival. So we'll have people coming through our doors tomorrow. Oh, there's a class going on now with Stephanie painting, but we will be opening our doors to our lovely friends that are coming to join us for our last Christmas festival for this year. So very exciting. We're all working on the projects and getting everything set up ready for that, as well as doing all of these shows for you. Right, so let me tell you a little bit about live shopping, and then we've got, honestly, this is like Christmas, this counter for me, because I am obsessed with pens. I have been since I was this high, and I think it comes from my dad, because my dad was exactly the same. Always wrote with the fountain pen, always had really nice quality brushes and paints, and I think that's where I get it from. I remember on Saturday mornings, if we used to go in town, so we go to work first, when my dad's engineering firm, we put all the rubbish on the back of a flat wagon. I'd sit on the back of it as we went to the skip. No seatbelt, back in the day, right, before health and safety took over, and in that case, quite right too. And then we go in town, and my favourite shop was the stationery shop. Seed and Gabbart's, it was called. It was like my favourite place. And I go running upstairs where all the papers and the pens and pencils were. It was just fabulous. So this is like Christmas has come early for me. Right, so let me tell you a little bit about live shopping. We are here every day for you, Monday to Thursday. We are live from 8 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the afternoon crafting. We're also live from 6 till 7 in the evening. On a Friday, we do 8 till 2. And on a Saturday, we do 8 till 1. And believe you me, you're going to want to join us tomorrow morning, because we've got some absolutely beautiful collections for you tomorrow as well. And that's what we do. We come in here and we come and keep you company. You keep us company. We chat between ourselves. If you want to say hello, please put a comment in the comments underneath the video. And the best thing about live shopping, having done TV for 22 years, is the fact that we don't send you away from watching the demos to shop. You can literally shop while you watch. So we're live on Facebook. You can watch us on there. You can also watch us on Facebook and Instagram, and on our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. Now, to shop with us on either of our social platforms, each product that we show you will have a code. And all you need to do to purchase that is type the word shop and then that code into the comments underneath the video, and that will automatically put that product into a basket for you. It's that easy. Then you'll get a direct message, and in that message you'll find a link. Click the link, and that will take you to our website, highlightcrafts.com, where you can then log into your account and check out those baskets, okay? If you prefer to shop directly on the website, you can also do that. So go to highlightcrafts.com, click play, and as soon as that show goes live, all the items in that show will appear down the right-hand side, of your screen. You then just select the ones that you wish to purchase, and they'll go into a little red shopping bag at the top of your screen. When you're ready to log in and check out, click on that bag, and that will take you through that process, okay? Now, why is it important that A, you have an account with us, and B, that you are logging into that account? Well, it's super important, because by opening an account with us, you automatically and for free become a member of our club, which is Club Highlight. And what that means is that every time you shop with us and log into your account, you will get extra discount. So you're not going to pay the prices that you see on the screen. You're going to get extra discount on top of that, which is fabulous, isn't it? And it doesn't matter the value of your order, and it doesn't matter even if prices have already been slashed, you will still get extra discount without exception. I have got really cross over the last few weeks trying to do shopping online. You get a voucher, so they message you a voucher, don't they? Oh, get 20% off this. And then you type in the code, and sometimes it says, this voucher is not applicable on this item. And you're like, what? Right? Doesn't happen like that. Here at Highlight Crafts, it's applicable on every single product. On top of that, you will also get 5 loyalty points back for every single £1 that you spend with us. And that means that you can save them up and spend them against a bigger purchase, or you can use them as you go along. We actually had somebody yesterday bought the heat press, which was £189.99 before discount, and used their points and didn't pay a penny. How cool is that? So that's what we do. And also, on top of that, if you get your basket spend to £35 or over after your discounts, then we will pay your postage for you as well. Right, let's start at the beginning. I'm going to start with this. Now this is a dream. I'm going to treat myself to some of these because I have, I'm not even going to say hundreds, I'm going to say thousands of pens. Because I used to teach colouring with alcohol markers, I bought all the Copic markers, I have all the Ink Lily markers, and they're all in tubs. And I don't want to keep them in tubs, I want them to be stored in my craft room for everybody to see, for me to see, not for everybody to see, so that I can access them quickly and easily. And I love this unit. Now, it even comes with a little screwdriver for you to put it together. It's brilliant. It has 120 different little openings, if you like. So you can store 120 pens in here. It will work with your Copics, it will work with your Ink Lilies. I think we tried it with your Pro markers, and I think it worked with that. Now you're going to get 2 of them for $36.99. Now 2 of them, that's 240 recesses, so you can store all your pens in there. This is a great way of having them on your desk, but not all over the place. And you can put them in your colour stories from light to mid to dark, and depending on which brand of pens you're using. Shop Organizer, $36.99 is going to get you 2 of those. I'm actually going to get these for Alice, because Alice pinched my pens, took them home and was caught colouring in at 2 o'clock in the morning under her duvet with a little light on because she loves colouring. Can't imagine where she gets that from. But I'm going to get these for her and organise her bedroom a little bit better than them being in those tubs. Shop Organizer, $36.99. Now then, I want to show you these because these are super cute. If you're looking for a really cool little stocking filler, this is brilliant. And Emily, who's one of our producers and also our social media guru, said her mum used to have one of these in a handbag, so whenever they went out, if Emily got bored, she could colour. I love this. So they're going to get, look at this little packet of pencils. So you get 10 coloured pencils in there. You also get, look at this, I love this, a mini stapler, but workable. Look, that's actually a really nice mechanism. So you've got a stapler in there. You've got a little packet of staples. Look at that. And then look at this. How cute is that? What is it about things that are little like that and cute that we love? I absolutely love this. I think it's blinking brilliant. Look at that. No, I can't get it back in. Got to scan Melanie because you missed about. There you go. Look at that. And it all goes into that little case and clips together. So you get the case, a stapler, a little roll of tape, post-it notes, and 10 colouring pencils. Now you're going to get that twice for $7.99. Love these. I think these are really, really fun. It's not something that I would, I would think, oh, I need to go and get that. But now I've seen it, I'm like, actually, that's really cool. If you're a bullet journaler, something like that, these, perfect. Absolutely perfect, because you've got your post-its. If you just want a little stapler, maybe you're going to put tickets inside one of your bullet journals, post-it notes, so you can write little memoirs on there, and you've got your colouring crayons. These as a little stocking filler, I think Jack's going to get one of those and Alice is going to get the other. That's brilliant. £7.99 for two before your discount. £4. What else can you get for £4 nowadays? Not a lot, right? Not a lot at all. So Shop Duo, £7.99. I love those. Actually, it's a really good shout keeping one in a handbag. Going to have those. Right, Lewis, have you got the iPad, darling, or is it on charge? Can see if you starred comments. I haven't said good afternoon to you yet, have I? Let's have a look. Right, now then, good evening to Jonathan. Ordered mine already, could not believe the price. Who's that from? I can't see a name on that one.
That is the name. No, that is the name.
That's the name. Oh, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. That's a name and a half, isn't it? Joe's with us. We've got Fran with us. Good afternoon. Got my shop, put a word on last live and won. I know, right? So thank you. Whatever it was, nice surprise. It was a mouse mat that had been embossed in Minecraft Studio and sublimated, Fran, and a matching coaster. I know. Very exciting. We've got Darren Hunter's with us. I'm in the process of decrafting my dining room so we can use it over Christmas. I'm finding all sorts of things I've misplaced, but it's taking me forever. Honestly, when I clear out my craft room, Darren, it's like an obstacle course in our house, from the front door right through to the back of the house, because you have to climb over everything. It's brilliant. Right, Geraldine says, hi Mel, I've got one of those pen storage and I have my pro markers in it. Brilliant. Thank you, Geraldine. I thought they worked. I was pretty sure they did, but thank you for that confirmation. That's brilliant. Get your questions in or your messages. Right, so we've done that one and that one. Now then, these are brilliant. These come from the brand of Creative and they are absolutely superb. Glass and porcelain. They're opaque and you bake them at 230 degrees. So if you're working on a glass or ceramic, porcelain, you put it into the oven cold. You then turn the oven up to 230 degrees, leave it in for 40 minutes, turn the oven off and leave the items to cool inside. We used this when we did one of the retreats at Doncaster. It wasn't a retreat, it was one of the crafting lives on the Friday at Doncaster, and it was really, really cool. These are superb quality. I'll show you these when we go over to demo. They are absolutely superb, and you do get that complete opaque finish with them as well. In fact, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll go over now and I'll show you those now. Let's come over here. Yes, I've got them out here. Perfect. So if I just get a little glass jar here, I just want to show you some of the colours on these because they're lovely. Now, a little top tip for you. We'll do the gold. When you first get these, you need to depress that, and that will break the seal that's inside and allow that to come through. I think that one's running out. We've used some of these quite a lot. Let's use the red one instead. So don't do this. You don't need to do that, because every time you do that and lift it off, it stops that seal. Just press it once. That's all you need to do, and that paint will start to flow. And then if I go into glass here and we just do some little hearts, you'll see the quality of this, and they dry completely opaque. The flow on these is absolutely superb. What you don't want is to use a pen that doesn't have that flow. Look at the coverage on that. It's superb, and look at the amount of paint that I've got in there. These are brilliant. Whether you're using them on your ceramics or your porcelains, or whether you're using them on glass, these are fabulous. This is something lovely to do with the kids. You know, we sold a lot of these jars the other week to you because Stephanie dropped them down to a really silly price. This is a really lovely way of just playing around. You don't need to be a colourist to use these. You can literally, look, all I'm doing is dabbing it like that, and it's giving me that lovely, lovely finish on that glass jar. Now it will work also on your porcelain. Maybe what you want to do is work on these on your drinks bottles and personalise them, something like that. Great, aren't they? Look at that. See? Fab, aren't they? And you can just put your design onto there. They will also work on your acetate. Now, here's the thing. If you've got a scan and cut or peel off stickers, you can put a peel off sticker or a piece of vinyl on there that you've cut out, turn it over and fill it in from the back, and it will look like a stained glass window. They're absolutely superb quality. I love them. I think they were some of the best pens I've ever used for glass. Sometimes you get them and they're a little bit streaky or a little bit chalky. This gives you that wonderful gloss finish. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Now, a few years ago, because I didn't want to buy Alice another chocolate advent calendar, we did a jar of hearts. And I did something similar to this. I literally took a jar, a little bit like this, put hearts all over it in different colours. And then every day she got to put a hand in the jar. So I filled it with IOUs. I owe you a trip to the cinema. I owe you a trip to the swimming baths. I owe you a walk in the countryside. It didn't need to be anything that cost a lot of money. I owe you your favourite tea. That kind of thing. And we put them in, and every day she pulled one out. And then over the Christmas period, that's what we did. We went and did those little adventures together, and it's lovely. And she kept the heart. And of all the stuff that they've got rid of at their house recently, she's like, no, I'm not throwing that away. Nana made it. So it becomes really personal as well. So those are your glass and porcelain opaque markers, okay? Right. We've also got these. Now then, we're playing around with these the other day. I'm just going to grab a piece of card and this pen because I can show you these here at the counter. These are acrylic paint pens and they're absolutely fabulous. Now you're going to get TV's frozen, Lewis. Can you sort it out for me, please? So you give them a really good shake. You'll hear inside there's a ball bearing. Can you hear it? You need to make that rattle because you're mixing that paint. You even get a spare nib in there. And then again, just depress it once and hold it down and wait for that paint to come through in that nib. Don't keep doing this because you're just wasting the paint. But look at the coverage. Look at that coverage for a paint pen. Now, our Amanda was saying a few weeks ago before she went off that she bought Posca pens and they cost her a small fortune. They are really expensive. And I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to get Poscas in the hope that the price would drop, and it never has. I have to say, these are just as good. The coverage on these is tremendous. For that price, it's worth getting these. It really is. And it will go on all your different surfaces. Any surface that an acrylic paint will go on, you can use these on. Absolutely superb. Now, we've got greens, reds, and what looks like oranges in here. Contents will vary and your colours will vary, and you might get some duplicates. But you know what? For that price, $12.99 for 12 of them, that's after your discount, that's like £1 a pen. Now, Amanda picked one up, one of the Royal and Langnickel ones that we bought with a chisel edge, so a chunkier one than this. She paid £12 just for one pen. I know. These are superb. Absolutely fabulous. Just shake it to wake it. It is a fibre tip. They give you a spare nib. Amazing, right? Give you a spare nib. Love that. So 12 of those, shop acrylic, $12.99. I just want to come back to these because we've got new people joining us. I love this. Look at this. This is great, isn't it? So if Matthew or if Alice was still little, you know, when you go out for a meal, this, cut a few pieces of paper down, staple them together because you've got this gorgeous little stapler. I'm obsessed with this. Look at that. How cool is that? This is brilliant if you do bullet journaling or art journaling, junk journaling, having a little stapler like that. Fabulous. You get your staples in there. You get a little roll of tape, and I would make a little colouring in book. So I'd print off some Digistamps and pop it in your handbag when you go out for a meal, because there's nothing worse than kids being bored in a restaurant, is there? You know what it's like, don't you? And if it's yours, you're like, oh, for goodness sake, everybody's looking. And if it's somebody else's, you're the one looking. Those two, I think these are brilliant little stocking fillers. Shop Duo, $7.99 for two. I'm not going to lie to you, buy it for the boxes. Right. Brilliant, aren't they? You could have all your little stationery bits in there. When you've used the pencils, used up the staples, you'll be able to get replacement staples. But I'll tell you what, $7.99 before you discount for two of those. Love that. That's really cool. Nice Secret Santa as well, that. Right, so we've done that, we've done these. Now then, here's the thing. These pens, I adore. I'm a little bit like about them as well because I bought Clean Colour from Kuretake. They cost me a fortune. These, hand on heart, are just as good. Look at these. Look how fine that brush tip is on there. These are watercolour. You get a pack of 20 colours. Look how fine you can go with that detail. Look at it. It's superb. Look how fine I can get that line. These are brilliant. Now, you're going to get all your different colours in your colour stories. Half the stock of the acrylic pens now gone. Well done. That is a great shout. Love these. They're fabulous. So you're going to get all your greens right the way through to your blues and your purples, into your neutrals with your brown and your black. Then we come down here. You've got almost like an olive green in there, right through your pinks and your reds and into your yellows and oranges. But the thing that gets me about these is on top of that, you also get two water brushes. Look at these. You get two water brushes, one with a fine tip, one with a flat end, and they're valved. And having a valve in a water brush is really important because that is what controls the flow of that water so it doesn't flood out. Now, I have before paid $8.99 for one water brush. It's a good quality brush. It's no better quality than this. $8.99. Now then, if you're looking for something for you for a stocking filler or for somebody that wants to just do a little bit of craft, colouring in is massive. You know, adult colouring books came out a few years ago and my daughter-in-law now still has a colouring book at the side of her bed. This is a deal and a half. You're going to get 20 pens plus two water brushes that are valved for $9.99 before you discount. Why would you not? These are lovely. Absolutely lovely. Have we got these out? Yes. We got them out. Come on, let's go and do a bit of colouring with these because I want to show you these. I don't want anybody missing out on these because that price is ridiculous. I can tell you now, mine were nearly £80. I think they were $79.99. And they're good, but they're no different to those. I love that about working here. We find you really, really good quality product, but at a very, very affordable price because we can pass the saving on because we haven't got that middleman anymore. It's good, isn't it? Right, so let's have a look at these. I need a couple of greens, so we'll start with these. David has lent me somewhere. I bet they're still outside on the shelf. Right, I don't know how to do this. Lewis, can you just go out and have a look on the shelf on the left-hand side? There should be 2 or 3 water brushes, please. Clear lids. Yeah? Maybe not. Yes? No? He would have found them by now. Right. Needing to come back in and then he can do cameras and you can go and find them. I'll tell you what, or just put some water in one of these for me. Oh, is the water in? No? No, can't see them. Okay, they were there. They were definitely there because I put them there this morning. Right, okay, let's do this. I've got some water in one of these, that'll do. Tissue? Yeah, I'm going to wipe that up because otherwise my arm's going in that. And it's going on my white jumper. Oh, there you are, it's already there, look. Right, let's show you these then. So, just a little bit of colour. I'm just going to do these leaves here because this is easy to do. So I'm on watercolour card. We've got the watercolour card on the show. So just put a little bit down on here. I'm going to put a little bit of the darker at the core of that leaf there. And you can already see, look how that that ink is blending on that watercolour card already, and then I can just blend those colours through. And then when I get to that stage, I can then just squeeze on the barrel of that water brush. So just squeeze on there, get the water out, and then just very gently start to blend that colour out. Now, if you don't like the fact that you might get a little bit of a line, because you might do, because it is a brush nib. No, you don't. Look at that. Wow. Wow. I knew I loved these, but that is amazing. I would have expected to get, in fact, let's do it a different way as well. Let's put a little bit of dark in there. Just make sure that wasn't a fluke. What I'm like, it's got to be right. So we'll put that there. Yeah, look how it's blending that colour, those two greens together. That's amazing. Wow. Okay, I definitely need these in my life now then. And then this over here. Oh, I'm getting Alice's as well. I'll tell you, that kid's going to have more Christmas presents than Santa this year. Look at that. And you don't get that line. So if you've ever coloured in with watercolour pencils and you find that you get a line and you can't get rid of it, or with a pen that's got a wider brush nib, more like a polymer nib, and you get that line and you can't get rid of it, then these pens just eliminate that. I can't get over the price. That's mad. You're getting 20 pens and 2 water brushes for $9.99 before your discount. Should be $24.99. Don't miss out on these. Even if you're somebody that's like, yeah, I don't really do colouring, we'll do this then instead. So I need some water. I'll use my water brush, it'll be fine. Just put a little bit of a scribble on your brush. Let's just work with the greens again. So just do this on your glass mat like that. Need another green as well. Let's get this one in there as well. Like that. And then I'm going to just wet. I'll just cut a little bit of this out. Here we are, I've got some scissors. I'll just cut a little bit of this out here and put a little bit of water out of my brush on top of there, like that. So just drop some water in and start to smoosh that around a little bit. And then just for making your inky backgrounds, you know, it really is a really inexpensive way to do that. So if I just put my watercolour card down there and lift them up. Now, I would have had to buy 4 ink pads to be able to do that. Look at that. So now you can just create your... What are you nicking off my counter?
All gone.
He's nicking stuff off my counter. Tell him. Message him and tell him off. Lewis is nicking my stash. Look at this. I think I terrify Lewis.
Just the rest of them. It's only one thing.
Rude. Look at that, making your own backgrounds. Now, I think, personally, that is much... Oh, I'm going to do that again. I need to show you that again. Because normally, I would have 4 ink pads, right? That probably cost me about £7 each. Let's do it with pinks. These are blinking brilliant. You need these in your life. $9.99. I don't know who came up with that price, but I'm glad they did. Right, let's put these on here. Look, a little bit, and you're just scribbling, right? Just scribble. Oh, I like these a lot. I love it when I get to play. Just going to get rid of that green off there. So just flush it through onto a piece of tissue. Little bit of water on there. I'll pick this up on the other side, then we're not wasting card. Just press that down. Lift that up. Look at that. That is so much easier. And you're not wasting ink, and you're not getting the outside edge of that that ink pad either. For making your little inky backgrounds, that's brilliant. Right, you need these. Please get these. Shop pens, $9.99. I can't believe you get all of those pens for $9.99 and 2 water brushes. Right, if you're looking for Secret Santas, or you're looking for stocking fillers, or you just want to treat yourself to something really inexpensive but great value, shop pens, $9.99. They're cracking. Look at that. It's cool, isn't it? Right, so yeah, I like that a lot. Look at that. And there's no extra waste, and there's nowhere near as much mess either. Right, let's go back onto the counter, shall we, and see what we've actually got left. Blooming heck. Right, Paint pens, how are we doing on those?
Still the same.
Half the stock. You need to be quick on those, don't miss out. Right, now then, we've just introduced a brand new download in the previous show. This is nice because you could put your acetate over the top of here, use your paint pens and recreate that on your acetate. That'd be super, super cool. So this is a brand new download that we're bringing you today, Shop Tags. We thought we'd give you something last minute for Christmas that you could then use to build up your Christmas tags or your Christmas artwork or use on your wrapping, etc., etc. So you're going to get, excuse me, all of these. I love that jumper. That's brilliant. I love that as well, that stag. Oh, look at that cupcake. I tell you what, Laura, need a cupcake with that much icing. Oh, look at that. We'd be on a sugar rush for days, wouldn't we? Baby, it's cold outside. Look at that little panda with his earmuffs on. That's brilliant. Now, $3.99 this, guys. $3.99. We haven't finished there. I love these. Aren't these just whimsical is the word, I think. These are fabulous. That looks like Stephanie's robin that she painted last night. That was an interesting show. That was a very interesting show. Now then, the other day we had a Micro Studio Words and Wishes download. And I said to you, if you've got a scan and cut, please get this. This is the same kind of thing. So even though it's on one sheet, when you import it into Minecraft Studio, you crop it. So don't try and turn everything black because it won't work like that. You crop it down to the element that you want, okay? So let's say we wanted the holly jolly, okay? So crop it down so that's all you can see. Make it bigger and then print it off. Scan it in. Use your scan to cut data and find either side of every line and then save that file. Recall it, group it, and then you've got that sentiment that you can cut, draw, foil and emboss. And that's just that sheet and it's $3.99 before your discount. There's nothing else I need to say. If you don't want it after that, I can't help you. I'm kidding. Look at these. Now then, the most expensive tags to buy are craft, because craft card is expensive. These, just print them off, cut the corners, punch a hole in it, job done. Love that. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It's the most wonderful time of the year. What does that say? Ugly sweater Christmas party. We should do that when we have our fuddle. Come in your worst Christmas sweaters ever, right? Peace and joy, Merry Christmas, and then you've got all your round ones as well. Now, if you are a scan and cut user, I will print off the index sheet, scan that in, bring on, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Bring on a circle that's the same size and a circle that's the same size as that. Line them up and your scan and cut will cut them all out. Now, just need to pause there. 40% of these pens are now allocated. Do not miss out on those. I don't get quite firm with you very often, but that deal is incredible. That's brilliant. I'm going to let you into a little story. I invested in every distress ink and every distress oxide. It cost me a fortune. And do you know what? I don't get to use them that often. I bought all the tins, I organised them all, and I love them. But actually, if I want to make an inky background, I've got to put quite a lot of ink out, and then I've got to use it up. If you just want a little one for I mean, it might be that you just cut a little piece of card, colour it, put one of our look stickers on, sentiment underneath, job done. Do not miss out on that deal. That's fabulous. I'm going to get those for Alice and for me, because my clean colours were, well, they would cost me a small fortune. They're good, but they're as good. Right, so you've got all your tags in there. Oh, look at these papers. What were we talking about the other day? Oh, yes. Now then, right, so you know how you can get a Digistamp now and you can turn it white so it looks like it's embossed? And we're talking about doing white on craft. I love white on craft card. It's so elegant and it's wonderful for Christmas. So you do that and make it look like it's stamped, like you've white embossed it. But you do it and then you print it out on that. That's going to look like your white embossed on your craft card. And then if you've got your little pencils, I love these, I'm obsessed with this now. It's proper tickle me this. You've got a little red pencil in there. Just add a little bit of red here and there. It looks wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Love those. This is great. Look at that. These are beautiful. I can't believe we're doing this at $3.99. But I'm glad we are, for your sake. They're lovely, aren't they? If you've got an A3 printer as well, you could have your wrapping paper right there. Wrapping paper expensive. And I always try now and buy craft wrapping paper because it's recyclable. Yeah, I love it for that. Right, if you want that download, my friends, shop tags, $3.99. Madness, right? Don't miss out on those. They're fabulous. I can't get over that price. I know we've done them before. $24.99 is a decent price because you pay £2 for each of those and £1 for your pens. But $9.99 and you'll still get your discount is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Right, your paint pens, your acrylic paint pens, brilliant on your glass, on your card, on your acetate, all that kind of thing. That will be great. Shop acrylic, 12 pence for $12.99. Madness. Right, now then, let's talk about these, shall we? Because these are from a brand, funnily enough, that I have used for a long time. And this is a high brand. Well, any words? I've used a lot of words. A top of the tree brand, but not at a top of the tree price because of the discount we're bringing you. These are superb. So first of all, you've got your Zig Posterman. Now these will wash off with water, okay? So it says there, wet white, wet erasable. So if you wanted to do snowflakes on your windows, you could use these. Now same thing again, when you take this off, you've got that fabulous bullet end. And these are white. So if you want to put these around the black piece of card, they're superb. Again, when you're doing that, don't keep doing this because every time you do that, you're stopping the flow. You release the flow and then you stop it, release it, stop it. Literally just keep it pressed down. And then you just wait for a few seconds and that ink will start to come down through that nib. The number of times I've seen people do that and I'm like, please stop doing that. You're bouncing the pen, you're stopping it working. You can see it now, watch. In a couple of seconds, when I lift that up, you'll see the white starting to come down. Look, there it is. See, watch, look. And look how white that is. Wow, wow, that is good. Look at that, I've never used these pens before. Look at that. Good grief. That's fabulous. Wow. Now, you could trace through a stencil with this and do these on your windows. But actually, you know what? Just a white pen. That's superb. Blimey. Okay, you need these two, sorry. Now then, you've also got, so you've got two of those. Yep, two of those. And then you also get two of these. Now, these are waterproof. So please don't put these down and try to wipe them off because they won't. These will go on your chalkboards, your windows, your mirrors and your ceramics. Now the white will be the same, it'll just be a different formulation as to how it dries. This one is a 2mm bullet nib. I just want to try that white one on a piece of black card because I want to see how good it will be as a faux matte layer. I want to see what it's like on black. Sorry, I'm off on one now because I'm loving this white pen. Let's try it on black. Oh yeah, look at the colour on that, the finish on that, superb. And then if you just want to edge your card, look at that. Look how fine you can get that edge. You'd never get a matte layer that fine. They're superb. Oh, I like those. I need these in my life. If Mick was here now, I'd be going, Melanie, you don't need any more pens. You could supply a whole stationers with pens. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And then gel roll pens, and these are fabulous too. So these are your white jelly roll pens. Again, just get them primed, and look at that. These are fabulous. I have paid $9.99 for one of those for a Sakura gel pen. Seriously, these are brilliant. And if you ever find that they go dry, put them in between your hands like that and roll them. Just needs warming up a little bit, that's all. Just warm them up between the palms of your hands like that, and they'll come back. Right, that little lot is $9.99. So you've got two that are wipeable and erasable. You get two that are permanent and two gel pens for $9.99. That is superb value for money. Now then, I'm going to move on to these because I love these pens. I used to buy a brand called Tombow. A lot of you will remember Tombow pens, and they were expensive. I know, really expensive. And then I went to a brand called Art and Graphic, which was similar, and they were, I think they were $2.49 a pen. So again, not cheap. Now in here, these are just as good, seriously, and I'm a proper ink snob. If you could have seen how many pens we tested before we chose the Ink Lily pens, with how many different nibs we tested and how many different inks we tested, honestly, Stephanie rolled her eyes. Every time we got a delivery and she's like, Mel, will you test these? I'm like, yeah, and I went back and I went, no. After about the sixth time, she went, look, we've got to find a product. I'm like, I'm not taking them on the shows unless they're really good and I can dig my heels in when I need to. And she was like, right. And then eventually we found the right ones. But these are superb. So on one end, you've got this wonderful, and the lid fits on the other end as well. You've got this wonderful brush nib. Look at that. These are fabulous. They're water-based, so these aren't alcohol markers, these are water-based. But you've got that brush end on that one. But on the other end, you've got a bullet nib. Now, it's not a bullet nib like a round one that's really fibrous that tends to get a little bit damaged quite quickly. This is a very dense fibre tip. And I had this thing with alcohol markers because everyone was like, why don't you just have a fibre tip? A fibre tip is like having a kitchen sponge, and a polymer rubber nib is like having a makeup sponge. It controls the flow of the ink. Both of these nibs are superb. Now, these pens go in your universal pen holder. Not this end, please, because the Scan and Cut does that. You don't want to use that end. But this end is wonderful. And on your draw fill function, you can colour them in. They're absolutely superb. So you're going to get not one set for $11.99. Good grief, I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. You're getting two sets for $11.99. What are we doing on this show? That, my friends, is amazing value. I can't get my head around how we're even doing that. And again, from the brand of Creative, so you know that they're a really, really good quality product. Come in their own tray as well, so if you want to store them in the boxes, you can do. $11.90. Do you know what? If they were $11.99 for 12 pens, that's £1 each. 50 pence a pen before your discount. No more words. I've no more words for that. Amazing. Do not miss out on those. Right, next up, we've got alcohol markers. So these are great. Now, if you want to just do really simple, basic colouring, absolutely, you can do that with these. And the difference between a felt tip and an alcohol marker is this. So look here, where I've gone over there, can you see how it's changed the colour of that pen? Alcohol markers work in a completely different way. So if I put a little bit of that ink in blue and red on my mat and I mix them together, because these are water-based, so you can pick them up with your water brushes, I'd get purple. It doesn't work like that with alcohol markers. Now, these are the ones from Creative. The best way to find a really good quality alcohol marker, or for the ink, is to smell it. I know that sounds ridiculous. If it smells of alcohol, which that does, it means it's a good quality ink. If it smells like nail varnish remover, put them back on the shelf and walk away, because they're not good. These are lovely. They smell really, really good. In fact, it was funny. I once went to, well, we were looking for alcohol markers for Create and Craft. And Sam, one of the buyers, who is now part of Spree, who brings us live shopping. How funny is that? Our career paths have just gone side by side. Came down and he said, will you try these pens for me? So I smelt them and I went, no, they're no good. He was like, how do you know that? Oh, actually, we were at CHA and we walked onto a stand and he went, oh, Mel, look, alcohol markers. And I went over, literally, went like that, and I went, no, don't touch them. And he was like, why do you know that? I said, because they smell of acetone, not alcohol. So he rang me up a few weeks later and he went, I found the pens. They smell of vodka, they're really good. I just burst out laughing. I was like, Sam, he said, that's what you told me. I'm like, yeah, it's right, I know. But look how now this is still drying now. Look at this. You will expect to get this. An alcohol pen needs to be able to saturate through that cardstock to be able to allow you to blend another red into that. This is our 250 pure print, not a premium pure print. You can't colour on premium pure print. It feels like you're colouring on chalk because it's not made for that purpose. This has a longer fibre, so it allows that ink to go into those fibres and then you can blend them through. That's how it works. But just for a little class for you, a little quick one on how the way that alcohol pens actually work, because this also takes the fear away, is this. If I put this blue over that red now, it will move the red underneath and it will leave you with the blue. Look. I'll do it with another colour so that you can see it. Bless you. If I put the yellow on top of the red, it will move the red underneath and it will leave you with the yellow. And if I put that colour at the side, you can see it's exactly the same colour. So whenever I was teaching classes with alcohol markers, this was the first thing I got them to do, because the biggest fear with using alcohol markers is they're permanent and I can't remove them. Well, you can. So if I wanted to go, let's take this green, and I put that as dots. Look at that, I just dot it. Look at that, and it moves the ink underneath, which means that if you go out of the lines and you then go around the edge with a pale grey, you can get rid of the bits where you've gone out of the lines. So that really, really helps. Right, we've got some comments coming in, I believe. Tim says, definitely need to clone Mel about Scan and Cut and have a pocket Mel with her knowledge with every purchase, lol. Yeah, if my husband was here, I'd be like, no, there's one enough in the world, thanks. Yeah, do you know what? But that's why we do the shows every Tuesday. I'm going to warn you now, I'm giving everybody a heads up. I'm having some time off over Christmas. I'm just putting that out there, okay? So if I'm not here on a Tuesday, I'm at home. Right, we've got Who Won the Mouse Mat? Has had to pop out. Oh, yes, it was Fran won it. Angie says, we haven't been hit as hard as some places have, and all the cats were accounted for this morning. Is there a message before? Yes, there is. Brilliant. Start with the first message, shall we? Good afternoon, all. Finally made it in. We had a massive storm and lots of flooding. We have an indoor water feature in one of the bedrooms. Oh, Ange. No. Thankfully, we've had a couple of hours break from the rain, so the floods are subsiding. It's coming back in the next hour, though. We were under curfew last night and this morning, but we get a pass from the mayor to allow us to go out and feed the cats. Angie lives on Skiathos, you know, where Mamma Mia was filmed, just in case you're wondering, in case you're worried that the storm's heading your way. It's got a long way to go yet. And then Tim also says, I agree, Mel, craft and white looks amazing and elegant. I love this. It's superb. Right, so the other way to use your alcohol markers, if you're like, yeah, I don't want to colour, Mel. All those colours that are in there can replace all those colours of card, because there's a chisel nib on here and you can just, and be confident with this, so hold your card like that, put your chisel nib on there and just go along like that and create your faux mats and layers. Now, if you've cut a piece of card, it will bleed in slightly because it's got an open edge. I have to say, look at that. Now, interestingly, this is really, really interesting. Yesterday, Stephanie was designing the projects for the cards for the festival, and she cut a piece of card, and it wasn't our pure print. I don't know where she got it from, but it was a different piece of card. And she did it, and she went, oh, it's all bleeding in. Look at this. This card will have been cut down on a massive guillotine. Now, this shows you the quality of our pure print. There isn't any bleed on that. That's actually even surprised me, and I love this cardstock. Look at that. The difference that that makes. Now, it looks like you've matted and layered it. You haven't. Use your alcohol markers. And I would say alcohol markers over a water-based marker because the alcohol evaporates quickly. So it's not going to add any moisture to your card. Look at that. That's superb. Also, I'm just going to do this. Now, it's doubled up, this card. Look at that. Look at that coverage. That's amazing. The other thing you'll find with alcohol markers is that now it doesn't pill the card. You know, sometimes when your card goes fluffy, it doesn't do that. But look at this. Now that's soaked through one layer, which I would expect it to do because I pressed down quite hard there, but it hasn't saturated this. This tells me that that nib on either end is a good quality nib because it's controlling that ink flow. If you ever do that and you find that you can see this little puddle, so with some pens you'll do that, and I'm going to hold it long enough, see if I can get it to do it. No, it's just disappearing. You'll get like a little puddle that takes a few seconds to sink in. I got one there a little bit, but I'm really, really pressing down with this now. Oh, it's disappeared straight away. That's a sign of a really good quality marker. But rather than going out, yeah, don't do it on a surface like that because it stains it. If you ever do that, hand sanitizer will get it off. Don't go out and buy all those colours of card. Just use your markers at that price. Right, all Lewis is telling me I need to come back to these pens, and I am not surprised. This, if I had to pick a pick of the day, it would be this, because these are superb quality. You have got 20 colours. Look how fine that brush nib is. These are superb, and it is a brush nib. It's not like a fibre nib, it's a proper brush nib, look. Look, you can see the bristles there in that. Look at that colour. These are stunning. And then, watch this. So I'm going to do a really naughty thing now. Shouldn't do that with your pens. But look how it bounces back. And then one press on either side and that tip goes back. These are fabulous. Now you're going to get 20 of the colours. They're called Pigment Perfect. They come in a little box, which is nice, so you can store them. But on top of that, you're also going to get 2 water brushes, one that's got a flat end and one that's got a pointed end on them. And they've also got a valve in there to be able to control that flow of that ink. These are superb. I don't know how and I don't know why we are doing these at $9.99, but I'm really pleased for you that we are, because these are exceptional. I have the Kuretake Clean Colour. They cost me, I'm going to say $9.99. They cost me 8 times that. And I got a few more colours, but I bought honestly, brilliant, $9.99. And that, my lovelies, is before your discount, and you will still get your points as well. That is amazing value for money. Superb. If I had to pick 2 things on here, I'd pick those without a shadow of a doubt. And, oh, I need 3 though. No, I need 3. I'd have these because those are incredible value for money, and those work in your universal pen holder. You just use the bullet end rather than the brush end. That, deal and a half. That is £6 a set, 50p a pen before your discount. Amazing. I don't know how we're doing that, but I'm really glad for you that we are. And my third one would be these, because that white, look at that. Just pump just press it down so that ink flows through. Look at that. quarter of that has gone. I'm not surprised. Now you get 2 that are washable, so you could do them on your windows and wash it off, which is great. You get 2 that are permanent, don't get them mixed up, and you get 2 gel pens that give you that lovely fine finish. Wow, what a tremendous show for deals. Congratulations if you've got those. I'm going next door now. We're going to do LED candles, wreath making, we've got chenille sticks, we've got crepe paper, all at crazy prices. Thank you for your